Good afternoon, everyone. I'm just setting up my laptop so I can see what's happening, so welcome. This is part 2 of the mindful doodling that I was doing the other night, and I'm just doing the second page. So this is just going to be me playing along, finishing off this page. So looks like I've got myself set up there. Okay, so I'll move this out the way, and so yeah, my screen's back to normal now, so that's all good. It all worked itself out in the end. Okay, so just to recap, the other night in part 1 I did this page here, and so tonight I will be doing the rest of this. So this is just a recording that I'm doing without anyone, I don't know, without an audience, I guess. So I'll just quickly get it done, just so, because I did promise everyone that I would get this finished and put it up on the web. And so I'll be doing similar sort of things to this side, but obviously a bit different. And I'll use my previous page as a example or an inspiration. Plus I'll probably do a couple more with the stamps that I used as well, probably in a slightly different way. We'll just see how it goes. But first of all, I just need to grab my stencil that I forgot to grab. Just bear with me for a minute while I dry it off. And so I'll be doing this page. Now I may not do as much talking as I normally would do, because I do like to get involved in this when I'm doing it, so I tend to forget to talk. So this is really just an inspiration video for you to get some ideas so that you can try your own doodling at home. I'm just going to expand my screen here, so just bear with me for a minute. Okay, that's all good. So I just wanted to make sure I can see what you can see. All right, so get my colours. Just move that to the side for the moment. Okay, get my colours out that I had the other night. I'm using all the same colours and all that kind of thing, just slightly different patterns. Now, I may not use the tape tonight because I'm going to eyeball from what I did the other night. So I'm just going to play that one by ear. Okay, here is my sponge. I'm just moving everything so you can sort of see, at least tonight you'll be able to see the paint palette, which you couldn't see the other night, which is really frustrating. So obviously Facebook got themselves sorted out, because I just kept trying and then all of a sudden it started to work. So all good in the end. I did have a plan B if it didn't work, because I found an old phone that I have, and I was just going to use that for the lives. All right, but anyway, we're all good. So I'm lining up to approximately, do the right thing. Decided that I will put the. So I'm just going to line that up approximately there, just to give me an eyeball. All right, so I'm going to do that one there, and it doesn't really matter what color I choose. So I'll just go in with this one, hopefully not too much paint on it. So I'm just doing the same process like I did the other night, dabbing on a little bit of color to provide the circles. Now, of course, you don't have to use stencils. I think, you know, I would have explained that the other night. I'm just using this stencil because it is a new one that I had just purchased from Dina Wakeley's stencil, and I really wanted to use it. Okay, I'm changing colour, not changing my sponge, so I don't mind if any of the previous colour comes out in place of. And just dabbing a light coat of that. Oops, just stuck the stencil into the water. Into the paint, I mean. Okay, so we've got those two going. That's alright. So we'll carefully rip that off. And we'll place this one along here. Just to give me an idea where I'm going. And I'll do this one. Just going to hold that up because I haven't dried that off. So we'll just dry that off later. Now I'm hoping some of you have been trying some doodling. For those that didn't know, I did actually upload a document onto the Inspired Art Journaling page, so that to give you some ideas and other than what we're doing here, so you can have a look at those and see what you think. Alright, so I might do this one here. Actually, no, I won't do that one there. I'll do this one. I'll do that one down the bottom. So again, I am just eyeballing this. Do that one. Now, like as in my original, you can choose to do totally different colours for each circle if you wish, like in my original one that I did. Or you can just colourway, it doesn't really matter, it just depends on what mood you're in. Put that one there about. Okay, I'll go down here a bit. So I've done that, okay. So what I'll do is I'll do that one there. I have no idea whether these are in the right order, lining up, I mean. And to be honest with you, by the time you put the little doodles all over it, you don't really notice the background so much. The idea of these backgrounds are really just to make the black and white, the black doodles really stand out. So that really is all the reason behind it. Okay, so what have we got? I haven't done this one. Actually, I'll do it here just so I'm not leaning all over everything. I've got that one. Oh, I've got too many of them. We might do this one instead. Just have to be careful that I don't get it all over that one there. Like this, I'll do. Alright. Okay, put that back in the water. Don't need that anymore. I shall just dry this off. right, so let's just move that out the way because we don't need that. We don't need those anymore, so I'll put them over there, that there. And we'll bring in our doodle book of doodles. Shall leave that there, that up there. Alright. Now, let's get ourselves organised. I've got most of all this stuff still sitting here from the other night, so let's hope that everything's there that I need. Alrighty, so let's have a look. We've done quite a few. Okay, so what we might do is I quite like, let's have a look. Quite like this guy here. So this one's got a little slightly more intricate flower on it, so I thought we might try that. And again, without the leaves, we've done those before over here. And so I think we might try one of those. Maybe put a few more flowers. We'll do it so it's got a couple more flowers on it. So I'll just put that there. What I might do is I might just bring up my screen. Okay. Alright, so I'm doing that. Really put this here. Just so that you guys can sort of see what I'm doing at the same time. I'm angling it off a little bit because there's nothing worse when someone, particularly when they're doing drawing and things like that, when you've got your hand over it and you can't see it diddly squat. So I'm just trying to angle it a little bit, so hopefully that might help with that situation. So I probably went up a bit high for those, did I? Yeah, anyway, doesn't matter. Okay, so again, just starting off with our, I might just bring it up a little bit more. Okay, that'll do. Alright, so start off with main stem. So I'm just going to leave it there so that I've got room to put a little flower bud up the top. And so it's going to be much smaller than the one that's on here. And that's okay. So we'll do one there. I've got 3 on there. So the thing is I don't like having odd even numbers, so I'll just do a little tiny one there or something like that, and then we'll add some leaves onto it. Okay, so what I will do is I will demonstrate on a piece of paper so that it's large, just so that you can see, because you know, obviously what I'm doing here is very small. So what I will do is, looking at this flower here, so I'm doing it much larger here, just so that you've got the sample to see. So what I'll do is I'll start off with this funny sort of heart shape at the front here. Okay, so I'll just bring that down around. Okay, if your shape's not exactly like that, you know, guys, honestly, you just do the best you can. You know, there's no thing to say that the flower that I'm drawing is correct, but it's just giving yourself that opportunity to have a bit of a play. Now here, this one gets a little bit wibbly wobbly, so okay, there you go. I've done the flower, and then of course it's not until, so I suppose you didn't see any of that. I didn't look at the screen. So then this is where you start bringing in a little bit of, make it a little bit thick around there, so I'm hoping you can see that. Alright, and then one in there if you've got the room. Okay, so I'll just bring that up there so at least you can sort of see. Okay, there's a little bit of a flower there. Alright, so these don't all look the same. and that's okay too. So, you know, that you don't, no flower is the same. So here we go. I'm hoping that you can sort of see. I might tilt that up a little bit. What's that look like? Okay, so I'll do my rough heart shape there. Then I'll come around. I probably could have changed to a thinner pen. That's okay. So I'll come around over here, do another little shape around there, and then I'll just do my wiggly shape there like that. Okay, and then I might do that with thinner flowers, the little, oh, the ant on my finger there. Okay, I actually have done a little bit of a bulby thing underneath there. You can do that if you wish. Alright, so that is that. Okay, so I'll do another one over here. This one I'm going to try and, doesn't have to be exactly the same. There you go. I think he looks pretty cool. Down here, we might, this is only a little one, we might make this a little bit more like a bud. So I'll just do everything a little bit smaller. Okay. Bring him up a little bit so you can see. Oops. Okay. Alright, so I'm making them different sizes, slightly different shapes, that kind of thing. So nothing is going to be exactly the same. And then one more over here. You can decide if you want to put those little bulby things underneath. You know, that's entirely up to you if you decide to do. Oh, I've got an ant climbing all over my finger here. Okay, so that one looks just slightly different. I will put a bit of a bulby thing on. Okay. So this one's, I've got a couple of branches. I'm just going to have the leaves coming off the main branches there, so I won't bother, because I will make them longer so that we can get a little bit of that nice shape. That one's a slightly different shape. Make this one a little bit smaller. Smaller ones here. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Alright, so now I'm going to swap over to the smaller pen, a thinner pen I mean, and I'm just going to draw 2 lines down the middle just to make it a little bit more interesting. I don't worry if they're a bit wibbly wobbly. That one I'm going to put a bit of a curve on it. There we go. So that one looks pretty interesting, and it'll look a little bit better, as you know, by seeing the other night that we can put some splatters and things like that on it. I may remember on this one here, the little daisy one here, I put some white dots on. We may do something like that on this one too, but we'll just get in and do lots of these pretty things, and then we'll worry about that. So I might pop down here and do another leafy one like this, because I really like that one. Oh, I noticed that I hadn't coloured that one in. So before I move on, I'll just lightly dry those off just to make sure. Excuse me if I'm a bit croaky. I might do this design here actually. I might go down to this one. It's a little bit more, I don't know, it's sort of like flowers, but it's very generic. Oops. So I'll go back to my thicker pen. And this one I can do a long stem because it's at the bottom of the page. So again, I just do my main stem there. And I'll bring another one out there. Here, and then I'll bring some little leafy type ones off as well. Okay. I'll even bring one down here. Okay, so on this one what I've got is like 3 big berry things, quite big, and then some little tiny leaves and that underneath as well. So what I'll do is nice big circles, but I'm focusing on colouring in down the bottom of it, so it's not okay. So here's another berry one here, and because it's kind of abstract, you know, it's not even really touching the stem there, but that's okay. So I'll do some smaller ones for this one down here. So I'm just making the filling. When I fill it in, I'm making it uneven just to give it a bit more interesting sort of look. It's just the way that I figured I'd do this one. And these are all fantasy flowers. I have no idea what any flowers like this look like, but that's okay. We're doing our mindful doodles. Remembering we're getting rid of what's happening in the day. We've had a good or bad day. We're forgetting about that at this point. And I might just do some little tiny ones here. So it's always good to have some smaller ones. Okay. And I will put a smaller one there too. Oops. Carried away with my... Now this is where, when I did the leaves on this, I went really loose with it, and you know, I want you to try and be really loose with it too. I will change to the finer pen, and see what I'm doing here. I'm just being very loose, all scribbly lines. Don't worry about the, you know, not worrying about perfection. Little tiny leaves on that one. Okay. Small leaves over here. And I'm just making sure they've got that raindroppy sort of look, but a very sketchy leaves on this one. Might even have a couple more up there. Okay. Now this is where I might get... Will we go... This is where I've decided I might fill in, not being perfect with it. My poor old white pen needs a little bit of attention. works for a little while and then it doesn't. So, whoops, need to dry off that paint. Dry that off first. Use this one, it's thicker, less spots. Hoping you can see that. It's not going to stand out an awful lot because you've got a lot of white in the background as well, but that's okay. We just want to give a little bit of interest just to help with the form and the texture of the little leaves. Sometimes what I like to do too is I'll just grab, I'm going to grab a thicker black Posca. Even though we, like before, we're doing all of these splatters at the end, which is great, but sometimes I do like to just do some little dots, a bit more specifically, kind of targeted. Well, this one looks really good here because I put some white on here, but on the stenciling, it's a bit hard to see, but there's a lot of white stenciling in behind there, so it's really lifting that up a little bit, so that's good. So around where all of these little berry flowers are, whatever you want to call them, I'm just doing some very light dotting around, more specifically, more strategically placed rather than splatters. A few in there as well. All right. Okay, so I'll just bring that up for you to see a little bit. So the flowers, I suppose, the buds are the focal point in this, but the leaves just offer a little bit of an enhancement to the shape, but obviously the buds are the primary focus there. So that's pretty cool too. So dry that off before I smudge it. So I'll do a couple of stamp ones too, so I'll probably do that one and that one, say, as stamped ones. If I do those two, that means I'll do a couple more up here. Okay, we can do, I forgot to bring that sheet down that I had done up, but that's okay. Right, so for this one, we'll just do some simple ones because you're getting the idea of them. And this is how I start off, them all the same. And look, I'd love for you to come up with your own designs as well. That's always a good thing, to come up with your own. So I might just, these are pretty simple. And for something a little bit different, you could get another Posca pen, maybe for something, another one. I'm going to do, I'll show you how you can use a Posca pen to colour in that coordinates with what we're doing here, so that you're not throwing in something completely new. All right. Okay, I'm going to put a few little black leaves on here because it just looks too bare without. I mean, that looks alright, but then I've done a lot more on that one. Currently raining in Brisbane here, and the ants have come out in force, crawling all over me. This one we might just dry that off. And we'll put some white dots around this time. So the dots that are on the pink here, they actually go pink, they don't stay white, because it's just, oh, it's gone up into that one. Okay. That'll go. Beautiful. What I might show you too is I've got this little flower, these little flowers here. They kind of look a little bit tulipy. They look like an upside down umbrella. So I thought we might do some of those down. Oh no, I'll do that. I'll do it up here because I'm going to do the stamping down there. Yep, so I'm just going to start him there. Couple out there. Coming off there. Okay, so what I do with this, I'll do a big version of this one. Normally what I do here is just do a round half circle and then just do a few of these guys. You may not have as many of those on there when you're doing it smaller, and then I just sort of bring that down. Okay, alright, and what I might do is put some little berry type things at the top as well. Okay, something like that. And then we'll just do fancy little leaves underneath it. Make it look a little bit Christmassy or something. So, half circle, 1, 2, 3. And that's probably all you will get on these little ones. Half circle, 1, 2, 3. What I was doing then. 1, 2, 3. Oops. 3. and we'll do some little scuffy leaves underneath. It's not really leaves, it's the bud leftovers. Okay, and so for this one I just did some simple leaves, just very quick leafy types. Okay, yep, I'll leave that for now. And I mean, I could do more with that one, but you know, we're going to do the splatters, so I may not. Just smudge that then. So what I will do with now this one, just find my. Just move this over here, just so I'm in camera a little bit. Sorry, I was just getting a bit of paint on it. Right. Okay. So what I might do with this one is I'll just put this. It's right there. The other day I held it up. Ah, that one worked because it's flatter on the back here. So I might leave that like that. What do I do with that one? Yeah, okay. No, I will leave. I'll leave that. I'll show you something else. Sorry, I was thinking on the fly here. Just close that up a bit. So just going over some of this a bit. So what you could do is, I don't particularly want to bring in a lot of colour into this, but I could bring in some. I'm going to have a look. Let's see if this one works a bit. I've got a light pink here. So I'm just going to see if that, yeah, that's working. Not the best. But I'm just going to colour. Oh, I should have dried that in. Try that again. So it's pretty much the colour that's the background's been done in, the circles. So it's pretty much that colour. So I have just sort of blocked that in. I will fix up I'll fix up the black around it as well. Let me just see if I've got anything in here. Oh, I've got that bright pink. Yeah, I'll draw that bright pink. Okay, I'll tell you what I might do. I don't want to add too much colour, but if I do this on this side, so this is a limey green that I've got. So I'm just going to do, it's an apple green. So that's just the leaves, and then I've got the pink flower. So what I'm going to do over here on my old, just so that they blend in a bit, I just did a couple of leaves there as well, so that it doesn't look odd on one page and not on the other. But that's okay for me. So I'm just going to tidy this up around there we go. So it's just highlighting that a bit. Now I might do something similar to what I did over here. I will just dry this off first, but just throw some flimsy bits around because I'm only going to do that one flower. But I think it sort of, it needs, let's grab this one. It just needs something else to give it some zing. Okay, not sure if that was the best thing, but anyway, that's okay. Because now I'm going to just add a little bit of sorry, I was just look. Oh, it's all right. I'm home on my own at the moment and I just heard some noises, but it's the guy next door. Okay, so that'll do for that one. Okay, so he looks cool. And then what we might do is this guy. There's my... Get rid of that. So I'll do a couple of these flowers, I think. So I'll do one going like that. And look, I could even draw a couple in more, you know, if I want something in particular. So what I'll do is I'll draw that like, stamp that like that. Oops, I moved it. Oh dear. And we'll do this one going this way a bit. Oops, I moved that too. Goodness me, I'm not doing a good job with my stamping this morning. Oops. Sorry guys, just a moment. My laptop's gone crazy. Hopefully you're still there. I'll just call it up again. Just bear with me for a moment. Try this on. Okay. Sorry, I moved the mouse and everything went off. Okay. Just going to, oh. Got a little bit of heat in the, so I am just, see I'm just ad-libbing here. I'm adding on to the stem so it looks like it's something that I have done. So I'm just filling in a little bit because I sort of smudged it a little, so I'm just making it all looking a little bit the same. And I mean, I could, if I wanted to, go right round that. Let me just see. It's probably a little bit thicker than I would have liked, but that's okay. It's one of those gems. Alrighty, okay, so I'll dry that off. And, right, so I'm not going to do any fancy colouring in on that. I will just grab my thin pen, maybe just put a couple of lines on the leaves, like that. I might do some little circles around. Yeah, no, I don't like them in that one. Do them in the thicker one. Just do some little circles just to make it a little bit more interesting. Like there's something, pollen or something flying around. Sometimes what you can do is something like that. Make them a little bit more interesting. Okay, yeah, that's good. More circles. And look, you know, I could fill them in with white if I wanted to. But I won't put too many down there because we'll have our splatters there in a moment. Put a couple out there. Alright. I think that's looking pretty cool at the moment. So what I'm going to do now, just to finish this off, get that in camera a bit. Yeah, so I'll just do some splatters on that now, and then that's pretty much done. I mean, I will put some sentiment words on. I haven't got them organised yet, but before I put the picture up on the Facebook page, I'll definitely put some sentiment words on, or stamps or something of words, and yeah, so you can sort of see it for yourself. So let's just get my ink out, get a few more splatters, and then we'll go nuts with the splatters, and then that's pretty much it for now. And then I will do the splatters and load it up onto the web, onto the Facebook page. Okay, so let's go. A couple of heavier ones, which is always cool. A bit more water in so that it moves a bit better. So see, you've already got some splatters on that. Oops. Just make sure I got some in the middle there. Okay, dry that off. What I'll do is I'll take my screen back a bit just so I can show you a bit better. Although it might be okay, I'll just bring it up a little bit for you to see. Okay, so there we go. Bits that we did the other day, so, and you can see where I've just filled in the leaf in there, so it just matches up over onto the next page. I love this little leafy one. I mean, that's just so simple, just black leaves, and I'll put some berries on it. You know, you can make that your own. Some little flowers over here, and yeah, so it's pretty cool. So I'll grab my calendar again, because I've done similar flowers to this here, which were one of Nat's stamps. Where is it? So you can see here, I can't remember which one this is from, but it's one of Nat's stamps. But it's a very similar sort of flower to what I've drawn on there. And you can see what I actually did was I painted the on this one I painted the outside petals in the dark blue, or the royal blue, whatever it is. I just used Posca pens. And then here in the middle I used the lighter blue. And so then you can see here I've done the opposite. So each flower I've done the opposite to the one before. So, you know, you can make them a little bit more exciting. You know, I could have coloured those in. They would be beautiful in pink or purple, even oranges, you know, orange and red or something. So it just depends on the colour palette that you're trying to achieve. And yeah, so you know, and you can see here I've done black and white splatters or dots. I didn't do any splatters on these. I just, any dots that you can see are actually Posca pen, paint pen, and then I've just done the white ones there. And honestly, the reason I put the white ones down the bottom there is because I've got a couple of stamp marks there that shouldn't have been there. And yeah, honestly, it just enhances the picture rather than look at it and think, oh, that's a mistake. And yeah, and so this one down here was a stamping, you know, extra, and this one here, bit of stamping on there that didn't work out properly. So I turned it in, made it into a little flowery thing just by putting a few little dots on it. But anyway, guys, that's pretty much it in a nutshell for this one. Like I say, I'll go and put some sentiment stamps over it or whatever, and I will upload I'll upload a picture onto the Inspired Art Journaling Facebook page. I don't think I'll do a border. I kind of like the openness of it, and because I think the by putting some sentiment stamps here around the place will sort of tie it in and give it a little bit more cohesion as well. So anyway, thank you for your continued enjoyment of my sorry, I've just lost all my words at the moment. Yeah, so yeah, thank you for tuning in, and I certainly hope to see some of your doodlings on the Facebook page. So please do upload some if you do them, because I'd really like to see them, especially if you've come up with some different designs that I haven't touched on here. We all like to have some new things that we like to. Sorry, I'm just sort of fiddling here. This is what I mean. You get carried away, and I just like to have a rounded edge on them. Maybe that's the Murographica art in me. That's another story. That's another mindful art journey that you can go on. Anyway, I'm waffling on here, so sorry, guys. So thank you for joining in, and I will talk to you again soon. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.